Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party. I'm my buddy Rhett back there, and we just finished up a space and time video, and now we're transitioning over to our flashcard video. Now, flashcard, okay, so I have a new project that I would love to start up, and I'm always looking for an excuse to kill one of my existing projects so that I can focus on the new project that I want to do, but I like all my existing projects too. Now, this one was right on the edge of going to the cutting table, and that's because Microsoft just quit supporting visual or the voice, at least for me, anyways, in any of the I have one way to use Microsoft Voice, and that's if I'm on my VPN at work. And I really don't like working on personal projects on my work computer, and I can't get on a VPN for work from my personal computer. So, it's just one of those things. I probably could get on, but it's just kind of like what I don't know. But anyways, so flashcards was on the verge of getting cut because you know, I thought that the I kind of the whole project was kind of like because I like the way um, that Microsoft did their stuff, like how they did their responses. So there's like a slight difference in the way they do it. So the way Chrome does it is they kind of give you like your what it thinks you said and then like kind of a percentage, a confidence level of how confident it thinks it is. But Microsoft doesn't, or at least hasn't, and they don't give you that percentage. What they do is they give you, but they do add punctuation and capitalization to the values, and that made the concept of a flashcard, something that helps you build flashcards, better. But unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. So if I do this and I say, okay, I got to go into, I believe I start these things with UI, right? CD flashcard builder. I just recently started sort of creating my new projects with multiple folders, one of them having Angular. Typically, the other one will have Cypress in it. Now, Flashcard, unfortunately, this one, Cypress is absolute. End-to-end testing is, as far as I can tell, useless because um, you can't do anything with the microphone or anything like that on the end-to-end test, and that's sort of the whole thing this is based around. Now, in the future, it won't. And that kind of brings me to my point was the reason let me start this npm start. The reason I was thinking that I needed to kill this, or the reason I didn't decide to kill it is because I only wanted the voice part like kind of to get started. And then I would eventually probably use other things to build out my actual flashcards. And the other thing I was thinking was probably some sort of AI, so that I can I could go into ChatGPT and show it what my JSON structure is, and then say, can you make me flashcards for whatever, friends characters for anything, and then it could just generate it for me. But as you can see, I have this working pretty well. It's nice. I love how it looks. Um, but it looks like, so I think the idea is we wanted to hit this, and then if I click this, then this one becomes green like that and all that. So we would use this button to pop back and forth, which I guess that actually Cypress end-to-end tests is perfect for something like that. So maybe it does make sense. Um, but yeah, so create select response should click here. Now I don't know where we were at though. Let's go look at our README. README. Okay, so I'm doing the README so much better in for my other one. Oh, so let's go ahead and test this actually on Edge before we get or so if we go actually so I have this other thing voice application that I built. It's I like email.com voice. Feel free to use it if you want. It doesn't collect any data. I don't collect any data. but it is hosted at DreamHost. I'm sure DreamHost collects data. It does use cloud resources. Behind the scenes, I don't have it using cloud resources, but behind the scenes, the API uses cloud resources, so I'm sure Google's collecting data. Everybody's collecting all kinds of data on this, but I'm not. So you can come here and there's nothing that I have um, that has data. Actually, I think I even have like a little explanation. Yeah, like kind of explain how it all works and all that. But so you come over here and there's only one expected thing missing. I probably should have done that, but um, so we have record discrete. We say like this, hello, and see we get this, and see Microsoft brought back like 5 of them, and then it used to be that we could then go click on Microsoft Edge, kind of deal with their whatever they're advertising or pushing or whatever agenda they have going. Sort of ignore that, and then come over here and hello, hello, hello. See nothing. We get nothing. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, what? Hello, how are you? All right, so now Edge is working again. It's back, baby. So, anyways, the whole idea would be that it would work kind of like this. So you would give it a command, like for example, and let's look at our flashcard builder. So maybe you say, maybe select prompt might be select response. If it hears select prompt or response, it'll pop back and forth. That could be a problem if like your flashcard had the word select prompt or select response in there or create response. But I would like to be able to use my voice to highlight any of these, and then when I highlight these, I would want it to do that. So I think that's what I'm actively working at the moment. But so the idea would be like this. So this has got a little bit better because now that the UI is starting to inform what we want. But like this, select prompt, select prompt. Okay, that's weird. So this isn't working right anymore. Let's see. Reload. Select prompt. Let's try this one. Maybe I should turn this off. Stop recording. See what our logs are. See if we ever got any kind of an error or anything. Yeah, see, we're getting okay, so it's broken. Maybe it's only broken on continuous. See, this is why I built this thing. Because I knew this was going to happen. I knew things were going to start getting weird and wonky, and I needed some kind of system to test to see what's going on. Select prompt. Select prompt. Okay, so yeah. Apparently it worked for a few times, then it quit working. Um, so let's try this exact same thing. Let's pull this guy over here. And it would be so hard to even begin to get anybody to believe that Edge just doesn't work reliably. Like that would just be, and then they would be like, of course it, and then they may even be like, of course it works on Firefox, and I've never seen it work on Firefox. Of course it'll work on Opera. I've never seen it work on Opera. Um, so, I mean, we could try it. We could. It's easy enough to try. But anyways, select prompt. How many select response? 25. So the idea is what stop. Oop, continuous. Stop. Okay. So the idea is that when it saw the select prompt, this would get highlighted and this would get highlighted. When we said select response, this would get highlighted and this would get highlighted. Inside a prompt, the phrase how many would be there, and inside of response, 25 would be there. So I would take the first response back and all that. We won't get multiple back, right? Because right now I think I have it set up to have that, but in our actual application, we only have one. So if I hit save, then select prompt. How many? Select response. 25. And that is exactly what we want. Now, with if we could do this exact same thing with Edge, what we would see, or what we used to see anyways, was the how and many with a question mark. So for me, I'll have to go in and either fix it or accept it without stuff. So anyway, so that's that. Now I've for now, okay, next. It's all wired up. Next we need to highlight the prompt when the command prompt is when the command is prompt. Okay. So I don't know what all wired up even means. So I'm get oh, clear. I think that probably meant that okay. So we don't so the word prompt comes in here, but we also want to be in prompt mode. And the only one, so I think we must be getting a prompt. We probably have like a command, the current command message. And so it looks like we actually say it in there, but um, so we're going to say if, so it just says prompt. So let's see. Oh, okay. So that's happening when they click this, I'm guessing. And command message, publish signal, command. So when the command is prompt, then we get that. So we want to, and we know that it's prompt because it's putting the text there. So what we want is we want like an ng class. Okay, and I believe this is that. Where do we get our color, border color? So that's our basic focus. Okay, so when it gets the focus, so something, wait, so, oh, it's already by default focus. Okay, so we don't want that. We want it to be prompt focus. We want this to be like a class, an ng class that says that if the prompt, oh, so that's interesting. Okay, so, oh, this is the editor? Okay, so this is the editor. This is where the focus happens. This is how it knows it has a focus. So it doesn't, so this thing, all it does is show stuff. It doesn't actually do anything. It just shows stuff. So we want to do like, oh, but does it know? It may not know. So this is the whole editor. Okay, so the editor doesn't actually know. So that will be the first thing to do is come in here and do something very similar to what we did in our prompt. We want to pull in our publisher. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. In here, my editor. Oh, it looks like I did give myself a little bit of a hint last week. All right, so we need to bring in our command service. We actually need to bring in the injector as well. So we'll put that over here. So the inject function comes from, so there are a couple things. There's an inject class or interface, and then there's like an inject function. And the lowercase I is the inject function. And then I don't know exactly where command publish service, like how it wants to pull that in. So let me just use it for that. So there's how that is. All right. So now we have our command, and we need to create a constructor. Actually, I wonder, I guess we could just do this command. Let's see, I guess we can go in here. In our editor, we can go into here. And I can't remember, I think it's like that. And then we give it like a little thing like this. And then we'll remove this. Can I do that? I wonder if I can do that. Nope, so it's upset. Okay, so ng class isn't a known property of apt prompt. Am I an apt prompt? So it's saying ng class. I can't. So weird. I'm like drawing a blank. ChatGPT in Angular 21. How do you implement dynamic classes? I.e. ng class. Okay, so it says, wait, it says you use this like class.active is active. What? ng class. You know, I've never done this before. This class.active. Okay, so I'm wondering, can you have a class? So if you use class, can you also set the class? I.e., for example, div class equals equals what? How did they do that? And calc. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so apparently you can do like calculated, and then it can be like, I guess you could have it in your TypeScript, and then you could set it to blank and not or something. Okay, so it says I can do this. Okay, so it says I can just do this class. And then I'll just say so can I calculate? Okay, so I could do something like that, and then I think I can say, so apt prompt. Okay, so what I could do, like this is so new to me that I'm like kind of stuck at the moment. So it looks like it's say app prompt, and then I could say command publisher service. So then I can go back to here. Let's save that because I don't think that hurts anything. Then I could say that this class is equal to that. Dot command message. All right, okay, so I'm saying that, hey, it's whatever the command message is. So the command message is panel. I guess we want to get rid of that. And then I guess it will add a prompt, that word prompt, and then it would turn green only if the command is prompt. Now, something's broken. All right, so flashcard editor TS. Oh, it's saying it can't find ng class, which, what? Thought I got rid of that. Maybe it's still in the editor. Oh, where is it saying it's broken? It's saying it's in the flashcard editor on line 17. Oh, oh, weird. What the heck? It's bringing in ng class from node modules. Oh no, from Angular types. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so now we don't have anything here. Okay, so that did not work. Inspect. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it is panel and propt is the class. And then let's hit reload. See, so now we just have panel, right? We don't have it. And then when I click on this, we get panel and prompt. But for some reason, panel and prompt is not picking up the CSS over here. Oh, because it was supposed to be focused. Okay, so panel. So when I click on that, yeah, I don't know. And this, I get, oh, okay, so that's not a text box. For some reason, I thought that was a text box. All right, so I'm not worried about this. I think I just want to get rid of this. Let's do. So anything that has panel dot and prompt will get green. See if that works. There we go. So now select response. Let's see, does it always? Nope. And then we click this, and then that's what we're hoping. So we're using the style directly. Now when I hit select prompt, that's that. So I have never used that before, I don't think. This class like that, setting this up. And I don't think I've ever tied it directly to that, but I like that a lot. So now, I wonder if I could do the same thing up on the button itself. It seems like I can't. So let's go find our button. Flashcard, response, prompt editor. No, it's inside the controls. Where are my controls? Components is the editor and that, but where are my app controls? That's weird. All right, that's weird. All right. And I was hoping to copy, I had that in my, so what I do at this point app controls, and then here's my controls. Now I'll go back to here. So flashcard. Oh, okay. So inside of the editor is the controls. All right. So now this has an HTML. So that has that. This has an HTML. So we can also say, apparently, we'll try this. Oops. Equals. See, we should be able to say class, and then whatever we're doing over here in our prompt. Wrong one. Whatever we're doing in our editor, this. We can do this exact same thing. I definitely want to put this on multiple lines because I think this has a lot of potential of growing. And I really like it to get a little bit more vertical in this situation. I have a lot of reasons why I like doing it this way. I started doing it this way because of Git. I found a lot fewer Git issues. But it is also nice to be able to just find the line you want to copy. Thank you, Rhett. And then it's also nice to for like a narrower screen, if you have a narrower monitor, that's nice too. And I can't remember, did I do the whole, I think I put the whole class into, yeah. So we do not have a command publish service, so we need that. I'm just going to save this. I know it's going to break everything, but oh wait, here it is. Command publish service. Oh, I made it private. Okay. All right. So when we made it private, we made it to where it wouldn't be able to um, we wouldn't be able to be accessed from inside the template, but now I'm trying to access it directly in the template. So, all right. So now I think when I click that, I should have my new class up there, right? Do I? No. Oh, yes, no. This is the class. See, I see outlined. I see a whole bunch of classes. Do not see our class, which is a bummer. It doesn't surprise me completely because um, when okay, it doesn't surprise me completely because like Angular and Material, they're up changing things too. I mean, it does. It historically, I've always seen it work, but here I see that I have my button outlined, boom, 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 but I do not have my prompt. So let's just double check that the prompt is working. I'm pretty sure it is working, but let's just do this. So what I expect to see is an extra prompt, the word prompt twice. Okay, so currently it is prompt, so that is working. It's nothing. I click this, it's prompt, inspect, prompt. And that's in this span here. What I wanted was in this button to see, oh, there it is, prompt. So for some reason it did not pick it up the first time, but it's picking it up now. Or maybe I just missed it. I don't know. All right, so what do we have here? So if any button I think we can put and here. And prompt. And it's border dash color, because it already has a border. So I don't really want to change the border because okay, so now it's green. If you change this, the problem is if you change the size of the border, then what happens is you end up with like everything starts to move around and stuff, and you really don't want that. So border color green, background color. Let's say we'll just make it gray. There we go. So now if I click on this one, okay, so let's hit reload. Okay, so now basically I just want when I click on this for it to go away. So let's try this again. Let's go to our controls, HTML. What's going on in here? We have click select prompt. And then I just don't even know. So I could see giving it a function, like it makes a lot of sense to give it a function that is unique so that everybody does their own thing. It also would make sense to call a thing and pass it in uh, a like what the command is, but um, I think I'm going to go with select response. I think that it's very likely that these are going to need to do like some different things, especially once we get to like response and prompt probably won't, but once we get to these guys, it'll probably get a little bit different. So just a command alone probably won't be enough. So now we want to do select response. We're just going to copy paste this whole thing. Now, if there was going to be like 10,000 different buttons and every button was going to be like, like it could just be like this generic button and stuff like that, where we have different commands and stuff, then I probably would select, what is this? I can't even remember. Select response. So select response. So we select our prompt, we select our response. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so that is definitely calling that. Select response. Oh, we called it response. All right. Now we'll select response, select prompt, select response, select prompt. All right. Okay, so I have the buttons working manually. Like, so you can manually click a button and we get like graphical changes. So we probably want to finish up response so that it works like prompt. And then, so that's one. So let's go to my README. Okay. First of all, okay, so let's just do this because I really liked this a lot in my other one where that's so weird. There we go. So checkbox. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize there was a purple one too. Probably seen it, but okay. So we finished. Okay, so wired up the manual click for response. Okay, so next, and I guess what I'll do is I'll do like this. Let's see, box. Unchecked. How about this? We'll do like an X because this one's not done yet. So X. And I'll just call this step 1 so I give myself some sense of progress. X step 2. 2. And we want to um, wire up select response. Oh, wait, it was for prompt. For prompt. And so we want to do the same thing, wire up select response. So that's going to be step 2, which is currently a X, not a checkbox. So is there like, I thought there was, okay, you know what? I'd rather have it be like a red X. It's a little easier to, I think it's a little bit easier to sort of come up to speed on what I'm looking at with a red X. As the kids these days would say, it's giving. The red X is giving that this isn't done yet, and the green check is giving that it is done. So actually, the more like it's so crazy because that verbiage really seems to drive the millennials and uh, even like the yeah, the millennials crazy. Like they go crazy when the kids say it's giving, what it's giving. Um, uh, okay, so it feels like once I have the prompt and the response working, we're going to want to get the voice working. Um, get the voice working for prompt. And then step 4, so get the create a question answer panel. Yeah, so get the voice working for response. So the general idea will be that I will be able to say something like, do something like this and say, um, select prompt. And then I'm guessing that, I'm hoping that's in my console somewhere. I think we had it working. Yeah, so let's see, what is this? I don't know. I don't know exactly. I think it is actually listening even right now, and we're getting responses, but I don't think I have anything that's listening, actually listening. Um, I think. I don't know. Let's go in here because we got to get that. Um, so it's going to be in a service if I know me. Okay, Morty. Yep, there's my service. And then we got our voice recognition service. And then start. And then I think we have events, right? We have error on audio and on. So we set it to continuous. We set up our results. Okay, so we are not. Doesn't look like we're console logging. Maybe. No, we're not console logging the result. Mm. So we do a voice recognition of, so let's say last result. So let's just see if this is working the way I want it to do. Last result. 12, select prompt, select response. So basically I want these guys all listening Oh, well, actually, I guess what I want is for this to publish the command, right? So I want this, when this happens, for the command to get published. So command publish service. So over here we want to listen. Okay, so we have to think carefully here because we cannot inject. So the command publish service does not inject anything at this point, and neither, I don't think the voice publish service does either. So this is such a critical moment because, right, control F, inject. Yeah, so we don't, so neither service injects the other service. So what that means is that I'm free to either inject the voice recognition service into the publisher service, the publishing service, the command publish service, or vice versa. But I can't do both. If I do both, I'll get a runtime error for cyclic stuff. So I can't remember what it is. So you have to think very carefully. Okay, which way do I need to go? You don't want to paint yourself into a corner here. So I would think that the voice recognition will need to publish things. Do not think the command publisher. Okay, so yeah, I have two choices actually. The command publisher can listen to stuff from voice recognition. That's fine. Or voice recognition can execute things in command publish. And I think I want the command publish to listen to voice recognition, which means that I will never be able to actually say from voice recognition, run this command, right? Because I won't be able to inject command publish into voice recognition. So, anyways, I probably should sort of note that for when we get to here. Um, I'm assuming that next week we'll finish step 2 and then step 3 and step 4. And I do want to point out that like I was doing something different in the readmes of the hello world and this, and I've settled in on this. It took a while. It took weeks and weeks and weeks to get to the point where I'm like to this, oh, okay, you just add a green checkbox for what you've done. In the README, you add stuff and all that. And then I've slowly gotten better at that. And I do think this is awesome. Like having these emoticons and then your steps and what you've completed and what you're working on. I like that. I think that has worked out really well. Did not just invent that out of thin air. It took weeks. I did invent it. Well, I did invent it and I did invented it out of thin air, but not immediately. Anyways, I've got to go. This was a great progress on this video. Great progress. This has been an amazing weekend for me. I've gotten so much good stuff done this weekend. But anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.